I think the number of people in the industry who... Thank you, Anand. The title is actually "And Then One Day." But you can call it One Fine Day because it's about a lot of fine days. I think the number of people in the industry whose very first career interview was conducted by Ali Peter John is legion. If Ali had $1 for every newcomer he's interviewed, he'd be a multi-millionaire. Screen, in fact, was the only film magazine which I used to read in school and in college, mainly because it was the only one I could afford. It cost 40 paisa. I remember it was a newspaper format then. Filmfare cost maybe 75 paisa, I think, and the others didn't exist. All the others which have sprouted like mushrooms. But Screen at that time was the most informative, a paper which was purely informative, which stayed away from gossip, which stayed away from vicious kind of reporting, and which stayed away from backbiting and trying to pull skeletons out of closets. It had all the information that was needed to know about what was going on in the film industry, including new films that were being made, new actors who were being launched, new projects that were being discussed, announcements of new movies, etc., etc. And there would always be this very intriguing name called Ali Peter John, and I'm completely with Anupam because I too, when I used to read those notes, used to think that there were 3 people. But I used to wonder why it was only Ali's notes. What about Peter and John? But they had flown away somewhere. And I used to imagine this man with a long white beard for some reason. I thought Ali Peter John has got to be this 200-year-old man who knows everything about the film industry. I'm astonished to find out that he and I are almost the same age, because I've been reading his columns since I was in school. And I think Ali is, hiding a few years somewhere. Nobody admits it. But anyway, we'll let that pass. But my first interview in the film industry too was given to Mr. Ali Peter John. One of my son's first interviews was conducted by Ali Peter John, and I am totally on the same page with Anupam, where he says that Ali is a man who has probably never written a negative thing about anybody. He is never a journalist who took advantage of the fact that his pen was mightier than anything else that could be said, to run down people, to settle personal scores, to be malicious about anybody. He has truly been a stalwart of the film industry, as much as any of the filmmakers who have been around, or others who have served the industry for 40 and 50 years. Ali Peter John is very much, in my book, belongs in that category. And the whole, when we see what journalism has descended to today, it's very, very refreshing to recall the attitude of journalists like Ali Peter John and the kind of tradition that they came from. And it is worth young journalists remembering that just because you have the power to tear somebody apart does not mean that you should necessarily do so. And Ali is a shining example of that. May his pen live forever, and may he continue to write compassionate, helpful, informative articles about the film people who he has very quietly and very unobtrusively observed in his many years in the film industry. And I, on behalf of all of you who are obviously friends, maybe some family, people who know Ali's work, I wish Ali a long life. I wish him good health. I was astonished to hear of the things that have happened to him. The only thing that doesn't seem to have happened to him is to get run over by a roller. But let us hope and pray that he has no more of such incidents, and the only adventures he has are with his pen. Thank you very much.